Hello. In last session, we discussed about cascading parameters, the most important one in nowadays. I mean, if you see any project, clients are asking for lots and lots of parameters, and there should be, they are looking for only cascading parameters, which will make their work easy. If I say that their work easy, then you know what it means, what the use of cascading parameters. Now, in last session, we thought of having a discussion about one topic, that is the difference between filters and parameters. But unfortunately, there was some technical problem, and hence we closed the session abruptly. So here, let's start with the discussion about the differences between filters and parameters, and then we're going to discuss about table report, matrix report, and report header and report footer in this session. Okay, to start with, the differences between parameters and filters. First, let me take the pen. If you see, this is your database from where the data, from where you are pulling the data to your report, and this is your report. Okay, data will not be directly pushed into the report. That means the table format or matrix format, whatever you are using, it will be pushed to the data set like this, from where the data will be populated into your report. So the major difference, the one and only, or I can say the top priority difference between these two is performance. How it differs in performance. The first thing, if you see, let's talk about filters. What filters will do? Filters can be applied on on data set. That means if you apply a filter, for example, you have a 5 crore records. Let's take an assume. You have 5 crore records, and 5 crore records will be retrieved when you apply 5 crore records in the database table. Now your intention is to get only red color products from the table, and if you see how many red color products in your table, let's say there are only 3 red color products. Assume, it's an assumption I'm saying. So first let's talk about filters. These 5 crore records, if you apply filter on this data set saying that pull only red color, then 5 crore records will be pushed into data set, and it will take hell of time reading all the 5 crore records from the database. And here the filter will be applied, and the filter records, the 3 records, will be pushed into your report. Okay, this is how the filter works. Now let's see how the parameter works. If I talk about parameter, the parameter will be selected in the report by user saying red. So the red will be, the parameter value will be tagged to your query parameter. Okay, and the same query with parameter condition will be executed in the database. So that means select star from table name where color is equal to red will be executed instead of select star from table name, which is the routine one, which will be executed if you take filter. Now we are talking about parameters. So the parameter value will be passed directly to the database, and it will be filtered in the database. So if I apply that condition, how many records I'm going to fetch? I'm going to get only 3 records, and that 3 records will be pushed into this data set. And from here, the same 3 records will be sent. So the major difference is where the condition will be applied. In parameters, the condition will be applied in that will be tagged to your query, and it will be executed in the database, so the records that will be returned will be very less. That is filter records. It is not going to get complete record set. But in filters, in case of filters, the complete data will be sent here. After the data is reached the data set, then the filter will be applied and the data will be shown, the filter data. The major problem here is reading all the data from the database to your data set, which will take a lot of time if the number of records are huge. So if you take this one, let me take a different color. Let's say green. This is your database. This is your data set. This is your report. If you use parameter, the parameter will be applied directly in the database. Only filter data will come here and the same data will be shown in your report if there is no filters. If you apply filter, the data, complete data will be pushed into the data set. Here the filter will be applied and then the filter data will be pushed into your report. So whenever anyone asks you about the difference between parameter and the filter, the first thing you have to say is filters filter the data after the data reaching the data set. So once the data is in data set, there you can apply the filter. Whereas parameters will be sent to, the values will be sent to your database. There it will be executed and it will fetch filter data in into your data set. That's the major difference, which will lead to performance gain. If you go for parameters, the number of records that will be pulled into your data set is already filtered one, and hence it will take less time to execute and generate the report. So the performance will be good if you go for parameters. So this is how, I mean, always the best option is parameters and the worst option is filters. And filters, the another problem is every time if you want to change a different filter value, like if color is equal to black, then you have to change in the report and execute it. Or if you say color is equal to white, again you have to change the report and preview it. Parameters is not like that. You can select it and you can tag it to your data set. It will be executed automatically. These two are the differences, major differences between parameters and filters. And if you ask me which one is the best, I will opt for parameters. And it has a lot of advantages over filters. Now let's see about table report and matrix report. What is the difference? And you know the difference. The table report will show table two-dimensional data, that is rows and columns. If you execute this, let me take out this pen. If you execute this, this is a table report, and you can see the data in two-dimensional, that is rows and columns. There will be no grouping. Okay, here if you see, it is rows and columns, nothing is grouped, no grouping. And if you see, the row groups and column groups are empty, and in row groups there is one thing, details, but that group expression is empty. That means there is no row grouping. Okay, if there is nothing here, then it will be grouped by everything in a sense, all the columns that are present. Okay, let me show you the same in SQL Server, and it will be easy for you to understand the differences. Let me take the same query which I have used to generate this particular report. This is the query. And let's play with the same query to show the difference between table report and matrix report. Let me take this color out, where condition. Let me execute it. And it is pulling me top 3000 records. So this is a free form. This is a two-dimensional output. If we say this is fetching you rows and columns. So the same format you can see if you use tabular. Tabular is the one which will not have any rows, row groups and column groups. It will have only detailed data. Okay, this is the detailed data. You can see detail means every row by row data. Now let me drag this one and let me push this one to the down, and let me take a matrix report. So I've dragged matrix report here. If you see, it has rows, columns and data, which is very similar to the analysis service browser. So in rows, if you drag and drop anything, for example, okay, if I drag and drop class into the rows, you can see a class row group is created. And if you double click and see, it is grouped by class. That means it is asking group by class. Okay, and second. This is group by class, and if you want to drag one more, let's say I will have sales amount and I'll have tax amount. Okay, I have two things. One is sales amount and tax amount. I have taken these two these two measures. So let me split the cells. This is sales amount and this is tax amount. Now if you execute this report, you can see the data is grouped based on the class. So I have given the row group as class, and that's why the data is grouped based on class. So this is the difference. This guy matrix report will have row groups and column grouping, whereas tabular reports will have only detailed information. If you ask me how can I add one more group here, let's say if I want to add color, you have to drag color. If you see, there is a square bracket kind of dark blue color icon here. When you can see that, then drop the item. Then what will happen is it will create one more group item, that is row color. You can see in the bottom, if you click, it will be group on color, which means the output will be class comma color. Two things will be there. And if you want to have one more, then drag and drop until you see the dark blue color square bracket ending square bracket 1 and drop it. So this is how you can add n number of groups in a math report. And if I execute the same, you can see the data will be grouped based on class and then color. So the black color is having only this red color and so on. And automatically the filter is set. You can see the data is pulled is only of red color. If I select blue, you can see only blue color information. Why? Because this is not filter set for a particular table. This is the parameter I'm passing to filter the data while pulling from the database. And hence the data is getting filtered. How many tables or matrix you are going to take. If that is using this particular data set, then we have filters. We have parameters on this data set, and the data will be filtered as per the parameter selection. So this is how you can add a number of groups. Now let me join these two guys. How to add a column group? This is for column group, and let's say I'll remove a couple of items, which I can do by going back. Okay, I have only class and I'm back to this one, I mean first stage. Now this is where you select column groups. So for example, if I want to group by class as well as color, so what I have to do, I have to drag and drop the color into the row group item. If I drag and drop it here, you can see the column group item. The column group value is changed to color, and if you it, you can see the group on item is color. So this is how you can add row groups and column groups. If you want to add one more child group for this, right click, add group, either parent or child. Let me take child. You have to select whatever the value you want to set here. I cannot set class here. Why? Because I'm already using it in rows, and I cannot use column English product name, as this one get lots of columns. So this is how you have to select this and click on OK. The child group will be created. Now I will demonstrate here. I'm adding a group, child group, and I'm taking in product name. The child group is added. So it is similar to simply dragging and dropping the group. So this is how use child groups or child parent group. Okay. Now let me see the result. If you see, the class is the first one, which will be group, and then product name on the rows. If you see the column wise, it is we have only one column parameter, so it is showing only red color values. If I select gray, it will show only gray color values, and the values will be gray. I mean, there is no record for this So let me go for black or blue. You can see the data for the color blue. So this is how you can use. This is the two different formats you have in SSRS. You can use it based on your requirement. If your requirement is to show high level data, the group data, then you have to go for matrix report. If your requirement is to show detailed information, then you have to go for tabular report. Now let me design the same. Let me design this report. Let me change the design so that the look and feel will be good. Increase the size, and I'm aligning this one to center, and I'm aligning these guys to center. Okay, and I'm bolding this color. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete the parameter part. Why? Because I don't want to show only red color. Here my intention is to show we are discussing about tabular report and matrix report. So why I have to have a filter here or parameter here which will remove the stuff for me. Okay. So let me take this color parameter out so that I'll get the complete data, and you can find the differences and you can see what's happening when you have full data and how it is grouping. Now if you have a parameter here, you can select only one color, that is either red or blue. You will get only one column. What will happen if you have more than one? Let's see that. If I preview it now, it will get you all records. That is, this is red color information, this is silver. This product is a silver product, and hence silver color product, and hence you have silver color data. These products are red color, and hence you have red color information. Like that it works. Grouping part on rows and columns. This is the tabular report you have. Now let me change the design. I'll change the background color to black and color to white. So this is how the report looks. You can see red color, silver color, and yellow color. You have only 3 color information. Why? I mean, you should have more colors, right? I don't know. We are getting only top 3000 records, and that is why this problem. You are getting only top 3 color. You are pulling only top 3000 records, and hence you are getting only 3 color information. If I remove this stuff, you may get more, but the problem is the performance. It will take a lot of time to generate the report. So I don't want to waste the time in generating the report. Our intention is to discuss the difference between the table and matrix report, right? And this data is more than enough for us. So this is how you have to choose. The first job is to choose the report, which one suits your requirement better. If you feel matrix is the best one, or if your requirement is to show the group data, then you have to go for matrix, else you have to go for tabular report. So now let me show you the difference in the database. So this is a tabular report output. As you can see on the screen, this is a tabular report output which comes in a table format, that is detailed data, that is 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. Now let's have the group data. You cannot have column groups here. Why? Because our database is 2-dimensional. You can have only row groups. Let me show you how to define the row groups. So if you observe this, here it is sales amount, but here it is the sum of sales amount and sum of tax amount. Why? Because I'm grouping the data. While applying groups, either in query or in reports, while applying group, all non-aggregating, all integer, or it depends on your requirement. You need to have either aggregating columns or non-aggregating columns should be in your group by statements. So let me have aggregating columns first. I want to take the sum of sales amount and sum of tax amount. This is fine. And what are the non-aggregating columns? Product, color, and class. So I'm copying all these things in my group by. If you see, sorry, I don't need to have this. Okay, fine. If I execute this, you can see it will group the data based on the class, color, or whatever information you provide. Now to demonstrate it in a better way, I'm showing only class and I'm grouping only by class, and you can see how it groups. This is the output we got when we tried the same in SSRS. Now let me add color also. So this is a non-aggregating column, no aggregate function is there. So I have to add the color column in group by class 2. Now see, null color black, there is complete sum of data. H color black, L color black. In the same way, null blue, H blue, L blue, and M blue. So this is how the group by works in SQL Server. In the same way, the matrix reports group by the data, displays the data after applying the group by. But the only difference is in SSRS you can apply column wise also. You can see here the column wise grouping, and you have to simply drag and drop here. And if you want to add child group, you can see the highlighted dark blue color one. If you drag it now, a child group will be created for the color which I don't want to do now. So this is how the matrix report and the tabular reports can be used. Now, before going to discuss about the remaining type of remaining report items available in SSRS, let's see about a couple of important things that is report header and report footer in this session. So what is a report header and report footer? If you see any document nowadays, any company's document or any business document, you will have report headers and report footers. This is a known one. I mean, if you take an offer letter from a company XYZ, that one will be printed on document where the report header and footer is present. So this is the minimum one nowadays, which will say about what company it belongs to and so on. Now, even your resume, if you see my resume, you will have a header and footer. In header, you will have the name, mobile number, and mail ID. So that's a header. Now let's see how to add a header and footer in a report. The first advantage of having a report header and footer is you can have data like what is the page number and what is the total number of pages in the footer. And you can have when the document is generated, and you can have a logo of your company. Or the advantage is the same header, whatever you design here, will be repeated in all the pages. So that is the advantage. Okay. Now let's see how to add report header and footer. So to add report header and footer, you have to right click here. You can see the light pink color area. You can right click on that, and you can select add page header. So when you select add page header, the page header is added. Now, if you see the option, it is changed to remove page header. Right? In the same way, you can add page footer. So you can add only one page header and one page footer per report. Now if you right click on the same area, you can see remove page header and remove page footer, which means you can have only one page header and one page footer. You can find the same options under the report menu. You can see the report menu on top. Now it is remove page header and remove page footer. Why? Because I already added to the report. Now let's see the advantage of having this page header and page footer. I'm dragging a line. I'm dragging a text box into this page header. I've given something. I'm a trainer, and I'm dragging one more text box. Here I'm giving some text. Okay. Now let me execute this report, and you can see the same data, the same header. You can see the header I am the trainer is on the first page, and at the end what the sheet is there. If I go to the next page, it's the same. So this is the advantage of having page header and page footer, which will be repeated in all the report pages. You can see if I have 100 pages, it is repeating in all the 100 pages. And if you export this into any format, the page header also will be exported. For example, if you take it to PDF, it will be exported. Page header and footer will be exported to the PDF, which will be very user friendly, right? User friendly option. Now let's design a proper page header. Okay, I'm taking a text box. Let's say I'm generating this report. Report name. Let me delete this or keep it here. Report name is product sales, and I'm increasing the size. Let me take it to 20 points. Oops. Or 16 to 20. Okay, the size is pretty high. So let me increase the size now. Size of the text box I'm talking about. I'm increasing the size here as well as here. Okay, now this looks good, and let me give some color. Let me give red color to this text. And now let me add an image to this. Let me add an image or icon. I don't have any icon, so to add an image I have to take an image option, image report item here. Let me add it, and I will import it from outside from my file system. So let me take an image. We will have a long full discussion on this. No need to worry. I don't have images here. It's pathetic. Let me go to the desktop, and there are some images. Okay, let me take this guy. So I've added an image, and you can see the image is added here. Now the image properties are not set, so let me set the property size should be fit to size. Okay, so now the report size, image size is good. Let's read this one as a icon, my company icon. Okay, and let me take this one even bigger in size. Let me take 24, and let me take this text box, increase it. Let me drag it here. If I execute this report now, the same report sale, product report name product sales, I can even remove this report name. I don't need this. Product sales, and the address is let's say this is my address, and let's see how this will be executed. Will be displayed in the report. So this is how the page header. You can see the page header will be repeated in all the pages. So this is how you can design a page header. This is a simple example. Generally, you can company will have their address. Let's say I'm running a company. I don't need to have this much big data. So let me add a simple text box. And here I'm gonna write my company details. Company name is XYZ. $332 tilde Tirupati This is the address. Let's say if I bold it, it looks better. And now let me preview the report, how it looks. So like this. In the same way, I mean, you can have one more text box saying this as offer letter. So this is how you can generate the page header. And what you can add in page header, you can add anything. You can add whatever you want, whatever item you want. Most frequently people use text boxes and images to have the text page header information, okay, or information about the document or report. In the same way, what generally people will have in the page footer, generally people will have what is the page number or what is the report generation date and so on. So there are a couple of global variables. Okay, we are going to see, we are going to discuss about these global variables now. So what is the use of these global variables? Means global variables will be very helpful while generating the page footer of the report. Let's say I'm going to the expression page. This is where you can find the global variables, and don't get panic about this expression. this is an ocean in SSRS, and we will have a complete session on expressions, most probably the next session. Okay. So if you see in built-in fields, you can see some globals: execution time, language, page number, page name, and so on. If I add page number, I selected page number, globals, exclamation, page number. This is a global variable. This guy will return what is the page number of this. So if you see, if you go to the bottom, this is page number 1, and I'm in 6th page, and you can see the page number is 6. In the same way, what clients will expect in the page footer? Clients will expect the execution date when this guy executed this particular report. To do the same, we have one more global. So for adding that, going to the expression page, built-in fields, you can see something called execution time. So which will display you the execution time as shown here. You can see this is executed on 26/1/2013, 9:37 and 49 seconds IST. And what they will expect? Anything else in the page footer? They will also expect what is the page number and of total. So you can have 1 of total 20 pages, or 2 of 20, 3 of 20, 4 of 20, something like that, some textual information. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate the same here. So I'm going to the expression page. Here it is, globals.page number, which will give you page number. And what else I want? This is the concatenation operator, which concatenates two strings. I'm giving of as was expected, and again I'm concatenating this string, that is page number and of value, with, let me do, total page numbers. I also need total page numbers, right? You can see page number, total pages. So this means this page number of this many total pages, and let's see how this guy looks. If I go to the preview, oops, ampersand does not match with the declare type. Let me check that what's the problem here. Let me go to the expression, page number, ampersand. Now it is good. There is no space given, that's why it was shouting. So if I execute this now, you can see page number 1 of 53, and there are total, that means the total number of pages is 53, and this is the last page. You can see 53 of 53. If I go back by some pages, 48 of 53. So this is how you can design your footer. It all depends on your requirements. I cannot say, okay, this will be your standard requirement, so you have to learn these two. The requirements will be keep on changing. Some guys will want to display some text, some fixed text. So what you have to do? They ask you to add some text here. Drag a text box and type the text whatever he has given. Or some guys will ask for some other requirement. Requirements will be changing from client to client, and hence we cannot have some fixed requirement to explain for this particular topic. Before winding up this session, I would like to discuss about a couple of things. We discussed about table and matrix. So let us discuss about text box and line item 2 before winding up this session. And in next session, we will have a lot of discussion, or complete discussion on properties we have. So let's discuss about text box. Now we discussed a lot about text box. There is nothing much to discuss. If you see, this is my text box, and you will have expression page where you can write some dynamic value or some hard-coded value. For dynamic values, you have to start with equal to, or if it is hard-coded one, then you will not have that. Okay. So this is about text box, and the line is generally people use to separate. For example, I want to separate this guy, the header and the report. This is the edge of my header. I have given a simple line, and you can see after page header, you can see a line in every page. Why? Because I have given this line, I have drawn this line in page header, and that's why it is repeating. If I have done this in report, then it would not have it. It would have been drawn only once. And this guy is also having some properties. If you see, I selected the line. This is the start point, end point, location, and line color. What color you want to specify? I mean, I want to give red color. You can select this. And what type of line? Dashed or dotted. I've given dashed. This is fine. And line width. If I give 10 points, the line width will be 10 points in size. You can see here. And if I execute, you can see it clearly. So this is 10 points width line, dash line, I can say, in red color. So this is the use of line control or line report item. And text box you have already seen, and table and matrix we have already discussed. And the funny part or the interesting part I can say is the text box and the cells of each report, either matrix or tabular. If you see, this is matrix report and this is a tabular report. If you see, everything is a text box. If I select on this particular cell, it is not saying this is a cell of a tabular report. If you see the properties, English product name, text box. So collection of text boxes is nothing but this report, tabular format and report format, matrix format. Even if you see matrix format, it is saying, it is highlighting that twice. It is saying text box. It is not saying it is a matrix item. So remember, everything is a text box in matrix and tabular reports. Now we have lots and lots of properties for a text box, and let's discuss about text box properties in this session before finishing the session. And in the next session we will have lots and lots of properties for groups. For every row group and column group you have you can see 8 pages or so of properties, and you have properties of matrix. Total matrix level you have couple of properties, some interesting properties also you can find there. And after discussing about all these properties, then we will jump into the remaining report items like list, rectangle, and so on. Okay, this is very important, and that's why we need to have a separate session on discussing, or we need some 1 hour to 2 hour session on to discuss on these properties. In this session, let's have a discussion on text box properties. So you can see general, number, alignment, font, and so on. You have so many. So let me right click on the text box here. You can see the same expression is there under the text box properties. If you see general, in general, what is the name of this text box? The name is nothing but the one you can see on the right hand side, properties, or you can see the name here. What is the name given for this particular text box? Why it has taken sales amount 1? Why not sales amount? Why? Because already I used the name for the table report. If you see for this table report, when I drag and drop sales amount, the name will be taken as sales amount. So every name will be unique. The name will be unique, and hence it is taken sales amount 1 in this case. And the second one is value. What is the value? That is nothing but whatever you are dragging and dropping. You can have dynamic value. Wherever you can see fx, that means it's an expression point. That means you can provide a value dynamically, or you can provide a dynamic value. So when we discuss about expressions, you will get clear picture about this. Okay. And tooltip, if you want to show any tooltip on top of this, I am testing tooltip. This is the text I am giving, or you can give some dynamic text. So now if I execute this report, when the report is generated, when my mouse is on the particular cell, you can see when my mouse is on the tax item, tax amount column, it is not showing, but when my mouse is on sales amount item, it is showing the toolbox. Why? Because I have set it to the sales amount text box, as you can see here. And allow height to increase. If I have a very lengthy name, and if it is not fitting in the same line, then the size of the text box will be increased and it will go to the next line. And allow height to decrease if you want to decrease the size. If you have given some very big, if you increase the size of this text box, like by increasing this, you can increase the size. So in these cases, you may need that allow height to decrease, this option. And the next one is number. Number is similar to the one you can see in Excel. If you are passing a number, then to format, like if you see 12345.00 is the sample one, Use regional formatting. That means whatever the regional settings are set for your system, it will be taken into consideration. Use thousand separator. That means after every thousand there will be a comma separator. Show values in thousands or millions or billions. You can show values in billions and millions also. Show that it will show 0.25 billion, 0.15. If your business is too high, then you can ask the server to show the values in billions. Show zero as, if any zero value, then you can provide that. Zero as blank. That means you can show zero as blank. And negative values, how we want to show? You want to show it with brackets or minus with space, or value and then minus, or value and then space. And currency, if you want to, everything like that. So there are different types of, very similar to your Excel format. In Excel you can format the numbers in the same way. You can see percentage. If it is time, what time format you want, this time format or this time format. You can try these things. Okay, these are straightforward properties. You can try all these things. And the next one is alignment. How you want to align horizontally? Horizontally, I want it to left align, means you can see the value will be shown, starts from the left hand side. This is nothing but this. The alignment part is nothing but this. You can see the same left align, center align, and right align. If I click on right align, and if I go to the properties, you can see it will be changed to right. And vertical align is same as that. How you want to show, where you want to show, in the middle or top or bottom. If I set it as middle, it will be shown in the middle. And padding is a very important one, very tricky one. If you see, if I from left, if I give some, I'm giving 78 points and clicking on OK from left, you can see it is starting from 78 points from the left. So padding means the space that you have to give from the left hand side, from the right hand side, from the bottom, from the top. That is called padding part. Okay. If you want to have this value in the middle, or if you want to leave some space in the left and right and top and bottom, then you can make use of the option padding. And then the font, and if you observe it, for everything you have effects. That means expression, you can pass dynamic values for anything you have, any value that is present here. Any property that is present here. And if you go to the fonts, again it is dynamic one. Either dynamic or static, you can provide it. Okay. Let me take some book antiqua, some language, some type. You can see the format, the sample part here. Bookshelf symbol or something. I've selected now. I've selected Bradley and ITC format, and I'm taking size 22. I don't want it. It is pretty big. I'll take size 14. And if I want to bold it, I can bold it. If I want to italic size, that is slant one, you can go for italic, or you can set it dynamically based on some conditions. When we discuss about expressions, we will have a look at this. And you can set the color. If I select red color, the font will be shown in the red color, or you can provide it dynamically. And effects, if you want to have any effects like underline or overline, let me have a overline here. Overline means the line will be crossed over the text. You will see that now. And line spacing, use font size or custom line spacing. If it comes to the two lines, then how it has to be spaced. Let it be this one. Now if I click on OK, you can see whatever the properties I set will be applied to this particular sales amount. I think I have selected some hard-coded text, HMMSS. That's why it is showing as HMMSS. So let me change that first. Sales sum amount. Let me go to the Textbox Properties. Or let me take the sales amount from here. Then it will show the same, I guess. Let me see. Nope. I have to change the number format. I changed it by mistake. So number, I set it to time. I can say this is a number and negative value should be like this, and use 1000 separator. This is fine. Now let me show you the preview. You can see it is in the same font and format we have given. 197, 199. This is a 1000 separator, and you can give blank a hyphen or something as per your requirements. So like this, you can set the font alignment, number, and the general properties. If you see the border, how you want to show the border of this particular cell. If you want to show it as solid or dotted, you can select that. You can select 5 point and color. Let's say I'll take light green color, and let me see the preview now. Actually, for this guy, you won't get that. Why? Because this is part of a cell. Whenever you have a text box, you can see it very clearly. For example, this offer, let's see that. Let me set the same properties. Border, let me set it to 5 or 7. Color is red, and let me show you the same. Oops, 1 second. Oops. Let me show you the same. This image will be the best example. You can see the border. I've given solid or dotted line, which will be easily visible. And let me set it to 10. Not all the properties for all the report items. That's why it is not working, I guess. So lime color. If I click on OK, should show. It is not. There is some problem. Let me check, find out what is the problem here. Visibility, size. Okay, let me give some padding. I'm giving padding. Remember this. Now this is this is one I want to show also. This one also I want to show. I'm giving padding of 5 points on all the sides, the left, right, top, and bottom. I click on OK. You can see the padding part here. The padding is from left, right, and bottom. In the same way, let me try to set the border. Outline. Okay, fine. Now let me set it to draw dotted one, and let me set to 5 points. Color is light green. Click on OK. Let me execute it. You can see the outline here. Okay. So no, actually this is not border. I don't know why this border is not working. Let me check that and get back to you. Or I'll get back to you on that, guys. The border is not setting. I may be wrong. Let me double check it. Why? Because I don't want to waste the time here. So remember, I'll get back to you on this border. It should work. Some problem. Let me check it. Now let me try this. Okay, the fill option, how you want to fill the color of the text box. For example, this is a text box, right? If I give red color, or I don't want to give red color, I will give green color, it will be filled. And if you want to add some image also, you can add some image. You can see the fill part. The text box is filled with this given color. And if I go to the text box expressions, and if I set it, the fill part, if I set some image, image source, okay, I'll give it as embedded. If I import the image, some image like this one, you can see that image will be placed in the text box. If I execute this, this is fill. Let me remove the fill part first and then show you the same. The fill, no, and set this image. I think that is working. Let me see what is the image that I'm having in my desktop. I've taken image 1, right, from the folder desktop. Let me see what is that image 1. This is the image. Where is that image 1? Yeah, this is the image I'm taking, and you can see it is taking. It is showing the same, and you can see the color, the pink color, and so on. So it is showing the image. It is working fine, but it is fitting to the size. So what we have to do is we have to change the background image to size to feet. It will be somewhere here. Let's check the property when it comes. Okay, so you can set some image as the background of a text box cell, and this one will help you in setting the border, and this one will help you in setting the font, this one will help you in aligning the text, and this one in formatting the number. The visibility part is very funny. Either you can show or you can hide, or you can show or hide based on an expression. Okay, or display can be toggled by this report item. This can be very well explained when we talk about matrix. Okay, and interactive sorting and action. We will have I mean, we need to spend a lot of time on these three properties, and we will cover, I mean, we'll discuss about these three properties in the next session. So that's it for today, and just don't neglect the properties. I mean, you might have felt that these properties are pretty simple, and if you have very good experience in Excel, then these are like cakewalk for you guys. But don't neglect, try to practice the everything before coming to the next session. So that's it for today, guys, and I'll catch you in next session. Thank you.